Okay, let's get started. Yeah, first thing first is please turn on your video. I think that is the ground rule that we've set, right, last week. So let me just get you to start first. We are missing Kit Ming, but I think maybe he might come later. Sherman will start later. Is it? Why is that so? What's the reason for that?
My camera is still not fixed.
Okay. Kieran and Zojun,
I can't seem to turn on my video.
what about you, Zojun? Zojun, are you there?
Camera got problem.
Ayo, all of you have problems with your video, with your camera. So coincidental. Okay. Anyway, just get it fixed by next lesson, okay? Okay. So for today, we're going to cover situational writing. And then after that, of course, we'll move on to current affairs. We'll spend a bit more time on sit writing, okay? Now it's already, I think, week 4, entering week 4 of term 2, right? So I suppose your WA2 should be sometime in week 7. Okay, that's in another 3 weeks' time. But I understand that different schools they test you on different things. So one of your school might be doing sit writing, but another school might be doing compre or continuous writing. Okay, so okay, like I said, I think we'll just cover all different aspects. Okay, so not to worry so much. I mean, even if your exam is your upcoming WA is on compre, don't worry. I think in the upcoming 1-2 weeks, we will definitely be covering compre. Okay. Okay, so then of course we'll also touch a little bit on current affairs as well, right? And it was a newspaper article on gender stereotypes in terms of parenting, right? I've seen some of your work. I think not everybody has done their homework. Let me see who have done their homework. I've got a record here. Okay, basically I think Tuo Jin did your homework, right? And Kit Ming as well, but Kit Ming is not here today. Okay. So we'll discuss that. Actually, I enjoyed reading your responses. Okay, later maybe Georgie, you might want to share with the rest what were your responses, okay? Okay. Let us start with sit writing, and today the genre is on formal letter. Okay. So just a quick recap. I think PAC you're very familiar by now. Okay, so I think I won't spend time going through this. I think maybe something to highlight would be the context. Okay, context doesn't just tell you the situation, it doesn't just tell you the formality. Okay, context basically gives you a lot of information about the text itself. Okay, where is it held? Who are the people involved? Okay, so what are the characters doing? So all these are basically it's a situation. Okay, but of course, under situation, there can be many other information provided by the context that makes up the context, basically. Sometimes context tells you the culture as well. Okay, it tells you who are the characters. Okay, it also maybe can give you some clue about what are the emotions involved. Okay, so what's the context? Of course, at a funeral, you wouldn't be over there singing and laughing and playing games, right? Okay, so the context is as such. Yeah, so it tells you a little bit about the emotions that people are feeling at the moment. So of course, if it's a birthday party, then you wouldn't be crying and grieving over there, right? So that's the context. So in terms of today we are focusing on formal letter. Okay. So formal letter, the audience, usually it is written to your is an authoritative figure. It can be like, for example, your principal, the head of a department, an organization, or whatsoever. Okay. And then for the tone, of course, you have to use a formal tone because it's a formal letter. And one key thing to highlight is that contractions cannot be used. Okay, so by contractions, we mean like, for example, do not, So contractions cannot be used in terms of formal letter. If it is informal letter, you can actually use things like, for example, how have you been? Right? So that's an informal letter, but not formal letter, yeah? Okay. Then of course the purpose. Okay. The purpose is to provide information. Usually it is to provide information. Okay. Uh Sometimes it's a complaint, sometimes it's a proposal, sometimes it's to inform. Now, to inform sometimes can be educate on something. Okay. A proposal can be like a suggestion. So there are these words in the question basically suggest to you what kind of information do you need to give the reader or the recipient of your letter. Okay, so purpose, suggest, educate, inform, or complain, right? It can be a complaint letter as well. Okay, then of course things to take note of: avoid lengthy elaboration. Okay, basically it means to be very short and sweet about it. Okay, so basically if it's avoid lengthy elaboration, basically you have to cut to the chase, be precise. Okay, the reason is because most of the time if you're writing a formal letter to someone of like an authoritative figure, you just want to provide information, that's all. It's not for you to not really the main role, or rather the main purpose is not to establish like a close relationship. It's mainly just to deliver the message across. Okay, so no need for lengthy elaboration. And of course, we should be focusing on the main topic. So stay focused, basically. Do not write out of topic, yeah? Okay, so in terms of content, it's actually not difficult for formal letter because as long as you have the pointers, later on when we analyze one of the questions, you have the pointers, you will be able to get the content marks, right? Okay, and then in terms of structure, that's what we're going to go through next. Okay, in terms of structure, it's the same. If it's a letter, then it saves us the hassle of writing the email address. Okay, so it's basically just intro. You have your salutation. Okay, I think it's written here. I don't have to write it down. Okay, in terms of salutation, dear so and so, you do not need to ask after them. What do we mean by that? You do not need to say things like, for example, how have you been? I've missed you so much since the last time we've met. Okay, so this kind of things is not necessary. Straight away, dive right into the purpose. Okay, so it is really very objective in terms of formal writing. State the purpose, explain the purpose. So that should be found in your introductory paragraph. And sometimes it spills over to your body, but that's fine. Okay, spills over to your body paragraph, yeah? So body paragraph 1, answer the points that have been raised. Now, what do we mean by the points? Okay, this is what I meant just now by the bulleted points in the question. So basically, body paragraph 1 and 2 is for you to answer to the questions, and it is compulsory to answer to the questions. Okay, because you'll be given content marks for that. And it helps actually the points because when they put it in bulleted points, then you know, okay, I must answer this, I must answer this, and then you check it off the list. Okay, so I think it's very systematic in a way. Yeah. Then of course, in the midst of writing, you also need to take note of your tone. Okay, because if it's a formal tone and you write it in an informal manner, then you will not score so well for content as well. Because under content, although yes, you answer the 6 points, content marks is actually 8 marks. So in this case, they are giving you 2 marks for tonality, tone and register basically. So you need to make sure you write in the correct tone as well. Okay. Then lastly, of course, in terms of formal writing, you usually will be expressing a hope or a wish. Like for example, I hope you will consider my proposal. Okay. Sometimes it can also mean to summarize. Basically, maybe you're trying to inform someone of certain things. So you might just want to give a short summary of what is your purpose again to sum it up. Okay, so it can be a summary of the main purpose of the writing, depending on the subject required. Yeah. Okay, so for example, okay, formal writing, but for this one, it's email. Email is a bit different in terms of the format and the structure of it. So you see, for email, you need to have recipient's email address. Then, of course, your email address, which is the sender. And very importantly, for email, you need to have a subject. Okay, but other than that, actually, everything else is the same as your formal letter because you just need to have intro, then body basically answers the pointers, then your conclusion. Okay, so far, any questions with regards to the structure as well as the language part? Sochin?
No.
No? Sherman, are you there?
Yes.
Yes. Kieran, okay, everything?
Yes.
Okay, I'm glad you're still there. Okay, so we are going to just analyze one of the visual text that's coming up, and then we will also look at the questions, okay, before I assign a particular paragraph to you. Okay, there's no need to write the entire passage, I think, the entire writing or the compo, but we will just get you to write one section, okay, one part of the writing. Okay, any volunteers to read? No, then I'll call someone. Then we'll start with Kieran first, since Kieran's name starts with K. Okay, Kieran, National Healthy Lifestyle Campaign.
Posters are a powerful tool to pass important message to students. There can be an interclass competition in which students create posters or banners based on the theme healthy lifestyle. The winning poster can be used as the official poster of the school's healthy lifestyle campaign.
Thank you so much, Kieran. Well done. Okay, so basically they have the activities, and one of the activities is actually an interclass competition for creating posters lah. And they give the reasons. Okay, so yeah, first thing you should be doing for seed writing is just to analyze the text first, read through it. If you do not want to read in detail, you can just quickly skim through first for the first time. Then you read the question, then you come back to finding the answers because you will roughly know where the respective informations are. Okay, so next one, let's move on. Kieran, can you call someone else? Kieran, can you call someone else?
Sherman.
Okay, Sherman, next activity, brisk walking.
Brisk walking is a great low impact activity suitable for everyone, no matter what age or fitness level. Brisk walking for 30 minutes, 5 days a week is all you need for better health and well-being. Schools can play their part by introducing this activity to the student by having a day when the student brisk walk as a class.
Good. Thank you so much, Sherman. Okay, so of course, another activity is brisk walking, and I think there's a brief introduction on that. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. I guess Jojin will be the next one on sleeping. Okay, good sleeping habits matter.
In the form of a skit by seniors, students will be given information on how sleep impacts one's behavior, and will be introduced to common sleep difficulties and disturbances. Students will also be introduced to tips on how they can develop healthy and sleeping habits.
Sounds like an ideal activity to go to, for sleeping. People teach you how to sleep, isn't it? For some people, I mean, if you enjoy sleeping.